We need putting to be automatic, especially when we're on the golf course. I'm going to give you just 2 things to do on every single putt, and I guarantee you're going to stop 3-putting and hold those short ones. It's a 3-step process, and yes, it is simple. What I see all the time on the golf course, playing with students, friends, competitors, whatever, we'll read a putt. We'll try and assess the line, the slope, whatever. You're stressing or subconsciously thinking about how you got here, how many shots it took to get here, what happened on the last hole. All these types of things get in your way from just executing a nice little putt. So what I'm going to give you today is 3 steps, and one of them is perhaps the most important thing you can do because it's got very little to do with technique. So what I want to show you is just how backwards it can be to be too focused on technique and too focused on the slope, the distance. We get almost too obsessed with certain putts and trying to execute a perfect technique. And sometimes it manifests itself by freezing over the ball a little bit too much, worrying a little bit too much, and then the stroke becomes a little bit too snatchy. Or perhaps the stroke becomes a little bit too trying to feed it, guiding it a little bit too much. And we don't want that either. We don't want to be tentative over putts. We don't want to be trying to sort of walk them in, move them in. It can be fun, but that's not going to work. We need something that we can execute. So once we've kind of assessed our goal, where we want to point and hit our putt, we have to do it quickly. We have to do it with efficiency. And this is what I want you to do. Step 1, you've got a putt here. I don't care what distance it is. I've taken a bit of an assessment of the slope. We're kind of going uphill, downhill, left to right. A little bit right to left, but generally left to right. What I want you to do is tap into your natural ability and really start feeling and seeing putts from back here, forgetting that it's putting. Just imagine that your only objective is to get this ball into the hole by just rolling it. Because rolling it, that sensation, even from sort of up here, is giving me the tempo, the pace, the feel that I want, the natural ability that we have for thousands of years just to be able to move something that way. And we just do it gradually, just very gradually we roll it in. And that's not a bad effort. And obviously you can't do that when you're actually playing and pick up and roll your ball, but you can imagine it. You can just sort of in your mind, I mean, you can do this if you want, you might look a bit weird, but who cares? You can just in your mind, just sort of if you golf with me, you'll see me do this, just ever so slightly, kind of looking from behind here. And my arm is swinging backwards and forwards. And the reason why that's important is because actually, that is all that's happening in my putting stroke. I'm just allowing that arm to swing backwards and forwards. So the more I feel this backwards and forwards, the more natural and instinctual it's going to be. So now I've sort of dialed that in for that feel. I'm trying to make sure that my stroke replicates it. So I'm just trying to brush that arm backwards and forwards as it comes around. Not a perfect execution, but not too bad. Let's get on to the next tip. The second tip, grab a tee peg. This is just for a visual guide. You don't obviously use this on the course, but it's just to help you right now understand what we're talking about. A lot of the times we can quit either with our body or with the putter. Just our intentions, we end up sort of quitting on our putting strokes. Tiger Woods always feels like his hands are going through towards the hole. And this tee peg, although it's like not directly at the hole because it has to be parallel, this is showing me a kind of a guide, an intention that I want my hands to move through, because it's the same as that arm swinging. right? It's that connection that we were talking about before. I want my arm to swing through and my hands to stay strong and stable through impact. Now, putting, you're not always going to hold everything, but you can at least give it a good effort to make sure that you're committing to your shots, that you're not trying to steer them in. And this one, I'm just going to make sure that I steer it along that line. The first one, I didn't quite commit to. I sort of steered it a little bit. It's not easy when I'm talking, but the second one, my hands went through to the target, my arm swang through. And that makes for a better, confident putter. One of the most important distances of putts to get good at is around the 8-foot mark. It helps pars, it helps birdies, it even helps prevent double bogeys. When you get confident from there, it helps every single length of putt. And that is why we put together the 8-foot putting fix. It's giving you the only things you need to be good today, no matter what level of golfer you are, no matter how many years you've been playing or want to play. You want to hold more putts, and this simple program will do just that. Follow the link below and I'll see you on the other side. Number 3, we're piecing this together and executing it how we need to on the golf course. As I said at the very beginning, we get stuck thinking about technique, too stressing about the slope of the green, the crappy shots we've had before. We need to just be able to execute and do it more instinctually. The fastest way you're going to get good at putting is to make it more natural. And this little point, look and go is what's going to help. And it's a 3 sort of point process basically. Every putt you have, after you've done your sort of rehearsal, your practice swing, maybe 1 or 2 strokes, every putt you're going to have, I'm going to stand into it, I'm going to make sure my aim is where I want, I'm then going to look at my target line, not the hole, I'm looking at my target line. So in this instance, we are over here, okay? My target line is over here because it's quite left to right. So every putt is straight. Remember that, every single putt is straight. I step in to my setup. I now look at my target line. I draw the line in my mind's eye coming back, and as soon as I see the ball, I pull the trigger and execute the putt. A little bit pacey that one because I was thinking and talking. But that's what you do on every single putt you have. You feel the pace, you see the line, step in, 1, 2, 3. Get it, ooh, just missed. But that process helps you execute with much more confidence. And you hear about the pros all the time needing processes, routines. That is the easiest one you can do. You step into your putt, you look, you pull it back, and you go. Short, long putts, it will work. It will help you hold more putts, I promise you. Thanks for watching. If you want to make sure that you hit more greens in the first place, this lesson is going to look after you pretty damn well and make it easy. I also want to give a mention to the Paradox putter from Breakthrough Golf Technology. This is phenomenal. It's interesting, it's different, but in all my testing the last month or so, it really does work. You can learn more about this unique putter down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.